Welcome to gardening video number 6, where to put your garden, part 3, zones. We're not going to be talking about the USDA growing zones that you'll often see on the back of seed packets. We'll save that for another video. We're going to be borrowing from permaculture, which we'll also talk about later, to talk about the zones that are actually around your house. This is a picture of my property again, as if you were looking at it from above. Here's my house, here's my property line. And in permaculture, what they do is they establish zones around your house. This is my house here. So in permaculture, they'd have zone 1 here, which is around the house. Then they'd have zone 2, which is further out, zone 3, which is further out, zone 4, which is further out, and zone 5, which is further out. And basically, in each zone, it makes more sense to plant certain things in certain zones. Like, for example, this is my house. It makes more sense to plant herbs and maybe leafy greens, and maybe even have a chicken coop here, so I can just walk right out and get those things that I would use more often. And as you go further out, like the orchard, that would make more sense to plant some fruits, perhaps fruit trees, and maybe some vegetables like potatoes. And as you go out to zone 3, that would make more sense to plant like grains and maybe corn. And zone 4 out here, if you had animals, that's a good place to let them forage. And then zone 5, which is wilderness, you could get your firewood from this place, and you could plant some more trees to get future firewood. But for our purposes, you just want to make sure that you plant your garden as close to your house as possible. Because if you do, you're more likely to go out there and do the work. For example, this is my south garden here, and it's about 25 paces from my door. So I go out there more often, and it's definitely less weedy than my other garden. And it's right next to the garage where my tools are. So this is in the zone I like to call the cool let's go gardening zone. This is my western garden right here. Unfortunately, this is in what I term the to hell with it, I'll do it later zone. Unfortunately, to get there, I would have to go get my tools in the garage, walk over here, duck under this barbed wire fence, open this gate and shut it so the horses don't trample on my garden, do my garden work. And then if I forgot something, I'd have to do the whole thing over again. So this is in the to heck with it, I'll do it later zone. When you decide where to put the garden, just make sure it's not in that zone. And you'll know the answer to that, whether it's too far away, by whether you say that to yourself. Unfortunately and fortunately, a tree fell over and broke this part of the fence. So now I can just walk directly to that garden. And I've also added a gate right here so that I can have the wood chip guys just dump wood chips right from here. If I have any garden stuff I need to take to the garden, I'll just drive right up to it. So be mindful of these obstacles, these man-made obstacles, when you're deciding where to put your garden. And also be mindful of where your water's coming from. You can see here I have 2 hose bibs right here. So you just have to be mindful where your water sources are as well. So to sum up the series on where to put your garden, just make sure you find a nice sunny spot for your garden, preferably on the south side. Find somewhere flat, and find somewhere that's as close to your house as possible. And you're going to be a lot more willing to go out and do garden work. So now that you've got your mindset right and you know where to put your garden, in the next video, let's actually build our first garden. Thanks for watching.